Number 7 is a $2 sponge. Number 3 will have you throwing out the setting powder you've used since 1998. And number 1 is a foundation that changes color on your skin as you wear it, which sounds like nonsense until you see what it does to fine lines. I'm a Hollywood makeup artist, 30 years in, and I've painted faces for tungsten light, for high-definition cameras, for close-ups that show every pore on a 50-foot screen. These are the 7 things that actually make mature skin look 10 years younger, ranked from useful to non-negotiable. And afterward, 5 mistakes, including the blush placement that drags your whole face down and the primer step, quietly ruining your foundation before you even start. Let's begin at number 7. Number 7, the damp sponge and the way you hold it. Take the little egg-shaped makeup sponge, run it under the tap, and squeeze it out until it's barely damp. That damp is the entire trick. A dry sponge drinks your foundation and gives you nothing back. A damp one refuses the water and deposits the color into your skin instead. Now, the part that matters, you press, you bounce, you never ever drag. When you drag a brush across mature skin, you're physically pulling product sideways into every fine line and every bit of texture, which is exactly how you end up with those little stripes around the mouth by lunchtime. Same foundation, same face, completely different finish. On set, that sponge in the metal bowl beside my brushes is the cheapest thing on the whole counter, and it does more work than anything else in the kit. That one's free. Number 6 costs you 30 seconds. Number 6, warm it before it goes anywhere near your face. Squeeze your foundation onto the back of your hand and leave it sitting there while you find your reading glasses. Body heat thins the formula and loosens it, and warm foundation glides on like a second skin. Cold foundation, straight from the bottle onto a chilly bathroom counter in January, goes on like frosting on a cake pulled out of the fridge. It sits on the surface, it streaks, and it settles into every line you own. 30 seconds of warmth, and the whole thing melts in instead. I've watched women actually gasp at this one in the chair, and it costs nothing. Number 5 will empty half your makeup bag. Number 5, every powder in your routine becomes a cream. Powder blush, powder bronzer, powder highlighter, all of it goes in a drawer. Powder is made of tiny particles that need somewhere to land, and on mature skin they find the texture, the dry patches, the fine crepey bits along the cheekbone, and they cling to all of it. Cream blush and cream bronzer do the opposite. Warmed between 2 fingertips and pressed into the cheek, they become part of the skin. And the finish reads as circulation rather than makeup. When you see an actress in her 60s on a red carpet in Los Angeles looking lit from within, there's a very good chance she has nothing on her cheeks but a cream pressed in with a ring finger in the back of a car. Number 4 is the one I see women overdo every single day. Number 4, concealer is a spot treatment, not a second foundation. The skin under your eyes is the thinnest on your entire body, and it moves every time you speak or smile. So when you pack concealer across the whole under eye area, you're asking a heavy product to survive on the most mobile skin you own, and it won't. It'll crease by 11 in the morning. Take a very small amount, place it only in the darkest part of the shadow closest to your nose, and tap it out with your ring finger until it's sheer. Less concealer genuinely looks like more sleep. That sentence has saved more women in my chair than any product I own. If you're finding this useful, subscribe, because I share what actually happens behind the scenes in Hollywood makeup trailers every week. Now, number 3, and this is the one that upsets people. Number 3, put down the setting powder. That translucent loose powder in the round tub with the sifter, the one that's been on your vanity since 1998, is aging you. Baking, where you pack powder under the eyes and let it sit, was built for stage performers under theater lighting and for young, oily skin on camera, and it does something very unkind to a mature face. It absorbs the moisture that was keeping everything looking soft. Then it settles into every smile line and every crow's foot and outlines them beautifully. When high-definition broadcast arrived in the mid-2000s, every artist I knew had to relearn powder from scratch because those cameras picked up the powder before they picked up the person. If you feel unfinished without it, take a large, fluffy brush, tap almost all of it off, and place a whisper down the center of the nose and the chin, nowhere else. Your face is allowed to have a little shine. Shine reads as youth, and flat matte reads as paper. Number 2 happens before you touch a single product. Number 2, give your moisturizer time to sink in. Your moisturizer needs a good 5 to 10 minutes to fully absorb before foundation goes on top of it. Rush it, and you're essentially mixing your foundation with wet cream on your face, which is precisely why some mornings everything slides toward your jaw by noon and you can't work out what you did differently. Nothing except the timing. Put your moisturizer on, then go make your coffee, feed the dog, answer an email, and come back to the mirror. Well-hydrated skin also plumps fine lines before you apply a single drop of product, which means the foundation has far less to hide. Most of what makes a mature face look luminous on camera happens before anybody opens a bottle of foundation, which brings us to number 1, and this is the one that changed how I work. Number 1, a foundation that changes color on your skin. For 30 years, my greatest enemy in that makeup trailer was oxidation. You match a woman perfectly at 7 in the morning, she looks luminous, and by 3 in the afternoon, she's gone distinctly orange, because a traditional foundation sits there reacting with the oil and the warmth of the skin underneath it and drifts away from the shade you actually bought. Luxe color-changing foundation was built around exactly that problem. It comes out of the tube as a pale neutral, and it carries tiny color beads that break open while you blend, so the shade develops against your own tone and undertone rather than being chosen for you by a woman at a counter under fluorescent lighting. The color you end up wearing is the color of your own face, and it holds that through the afternoon. The second thing matters even more on mature skin. The finish is thin and flexible instead of thick and opaque. So it moves when your face moves, and it's far less inclined to gather in the lines around your mouth or the creases under your eyes the way a heavy, full coverage formula will. It shears out where you want your own skin showing through, and it builds where you actually want coverage, on redness, on sunspots, around the nose. It works with the texture you already have. This is the Your Skin But Better foundation a lot of women had quietly given up on finding, and as I'm recording this, it's the #1 selling foundation on Amazon, which for something aimed squarely at mature skin is not a small thing. The link is in the description below, or scan the QR code on your screen right now. Now, the 5 mistakes, because you can do all 7 of those things and undo the lot of them in about 10 seconds. Number 5, shade matching under department store lighting on the back of your hand. That lighting is fluorescent and flattening, and the skin on your hand is a completely different color from the skin on your face. Test along the jawline, then walk to a window and look at it in daylight. Number 4, you learned from a magazine in the 80s. Number 4, blush swept low across the cheek and out toward the ear. That was the shape everybody learned 30 years ago, and it pulls the whole face downward visually. Smile, find the top of the apple of the cheek, press your color there, and take it slightly upward toward the temple instead. Same blush, same face, and the difference in the mirror is startling. Number 3 is sitting in your makeup bag right now. Number 3, silicone primer underneath a water-based foundation. Silicone and water repel each other, which is why some mornings your makeup rolls into little balls and pills as you blend it, or separates into patches around the nose by lunchtime. You aren't doing anything wrong. Those 2 products simply refuse to speak to each other. Well-hydrated skin is the only primer most mature faces need. Number 2 is the one I see on women who otherwise get everything right. Number 2, frosted, glittery eyeshadow on the lid. I say this with real love. Shimmer with a hard metallic finish behaves the way powder does. It finds every bit of crepey texture on the lid and settles straight into it, and it magnifies exactly what you were hoping to soften. A soft satin finish in a warm neutral gives you light without the sparkle sitting in the texture. And the biggest mistake of all is the one almost everybody makes. Number 1, believing that more coverage means a younger face. It's the opposite every time. Full coverage matte foundation painted over an entire face reads as a mask on mature skin because real skin has variation and light moving across it, and a flat, opaque surface has neither. The most youthful faces I ever created in that Burbank makeup trailer had visible skin showing through, a little glow along the cheekbone, and coverage only where it was genuinely needed. That's the whole philosophy, honestly. Stop covering your face and start letting light move across it again. Warm your product, press it in, keep your creams, lose the powder, and wear a foundation that adapts to you rather than one you fight all day. The woman who sat in my chair at 4 in the morning asked me to make her look like herself on a good day. That's a completely reasonable thing to want at 58 or 68, and it's far more achievable than the industry has ever let you believe. If you want the foundation from number 1, the link is waiting in the description, or scan the QR code on your screen. And tell me in the comments which of the 5 mistakes you've been making, because I promise you, I've made every single one of them on somebody famous.